Blessings, everyone. Welcome to Unspoken Opinions, where we take your opinions and we make them public, where we take the opinions you're afraid to say out loud and we turn them into a discussion. So I'm your host, Prophetess Oreen Katoy. So I hope all is well with everyone. Um, let's begin. Let's get started. The first unspoken opinion is what you repeatedly practice eventually becomes part of who you are. What you repeatedly practice eventually becomes part of who you are. Is there anyone that would like to begin and start while I'm trying to get this thing set up? What you repeatedly
Good
practice.
morning, prophetess.
Good morning. Good morning. Go ahead.
That is so very true. Because there is an old saying that says it takes 21 days to make a habit. So that quote is literally saying that if you repeat something every single day for 21 days, that would eventually become a habit. And what becomes a habit ends up becoming a choice when you do it long enough.
Mhm.
And that choice ends up becoming the decisions that you make.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Nicholas. Yes, I agree with everything, that you said. I love that you spoke about what becomes a habit. I love that you went there to, explain it even further for us to understand. So yes, I totally agree with this unspoken opinions. Opinion. Oh, so it's the hot seat. And Nicholas, you are the one that's here. So obviously, Nicholas, I'm calling you to the hot seat. Um, well, you know how the rules are. You have three sections, which are easy questions, true or false, and riddles. The easy questions has 10 questions, the true and false has 10 questions, and the riddles have 5 questions because it's a little bit harder. So which one would you like to choose?
We'll go for true and false this time.
True or false? All right. Okay, let's begin the clock. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Moses received 10 commandments.
True.
Birds have 4 legs.
False.
Solomon was known for his wisdom.
True.
The sun rises in the west.
True.
Bananas grow on the ground.
False.
A fish can ride a bicycle.
False.
Elijah was a prophet.
True.
The moon is made up of cheese.
False.
A year has 500 days.
I'm gonna say true.
A year has 500 days.
False.
A square has five
That was a
sides.
good one. Say that again.
A square has 5 sides.
False.
And the sun rises in the west.
Okay, false.
Okay. Okay, Nicholas.
That was a good one.
You
That
handled
was
it a
you
bit
caught
worried.
me. You caught me. You caught me. That was a good one.
Oh, but yes, the sun rises in the east. So it was indeed false. And the year has 365 days, not 500. So that was false.
Those were good. Those were good.
Well, you did so well, and I'm so proud of you. Okay, so let's move on to the next unspoken opinions, which is a wise person learns from the mistake of others. A wise person learns from the mistakes of others. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you guys think?
I agree with that. I believe that is the best type of wisdom, actually, is to learn from the mistakes of others because it keeps me, I'm gonna say this from a personal place, that it keeps me from making the same mistake that somebody else made because I saw the results of what happened to someone else.
Mm,
Not just in a negative stance, but also in a good way. The Bible says that if you hang around the wise, you will become wise. Instead of just looking at it as just mistakes, let's look at it as wisdom too.
mhm.
That I can learn a lot more through observation than I can through experience. And that's my thought process on it.
Oh, okay. So we're back again in the hot seat. Let me see who is available. Oh, Casey, well, you're the next available person. So, Casey, I call you to the hot seat. True and false was already taken. So, you only have easy questions and riddles. Easy questions is made up of 10 questions, and riddles is made up of 5 questions because they're a little bit harder. So, which one would you like to try?
Easy questions.
Easy questions. Okay, let's begin the clock. Are you ready?
No.
All right. Get ready, honey.
You
Get
got this. You're
ready.
gonna be okay. You got this.
Oh my God, I need to control myself. Okay. Let's start the clock. Who was the first man created by God?
Adam,
What do you wear on your wrist to tell the time?
watch.
Who interpreted dreams for Pharaoh?
Who's Pharaoh again? Joseph?
Yes. What
Okay.
do bees make?
What do what?
Bees make.
Honey.
What do you call a baby cat?
A kitten?
What do you use to see your reflection?
Mirror.
Who did Jesus raise from the dead?
Lazarus.
What do you use to light up a room?
Uh, what?
What do you use to light up a room?
A bulb?
Okay, yes, that's the word. What do you wear on your feet before putting on your shoes?
Socks?
And what color do you get when you mix red and blue?
Red and blue? I don't know.
Oh,
Purple?
dear God, Jesus Christ. Yes, yes, Casey, you got all right.
Good
Um,
job.
good Lord.
She was
Oh,
struggling over there,
that
but
was
she
a
got it.
wild guess. Okay.
You did good. I told you were gonna do fine.
Yes, Casey, you did an amazing job. You know your work. That's good. Okay, so let's move on, you guys, to the next unspoken opinions, which is a person who cannot control their tongue will struggle to control their life. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think that your tongue has a lot to do with how your life turns out? What do you guys think? A person who cannot control their tongue will struggle to control their life. Do you think that's true?
We do not have enough time to answer this one, but because there is so much I could say about that. But yes,
Hmm.
that literally, if you cannot control your tongue, you, because a lot of times your life is a result of what you say, not just a result of what you did.
Mm-hmm.
Because the proverb says very clearly that out of the heart comes the issues out of the heart comes the issues of life. The only way that is the case is if I speak what's in my heart. We talked about this before
Mhm.
because Proverbs says that you are ensnared, you can be ensnared by the very words of your mouth. So what you say can determine the direction of your life. So you really have to be careful what you say because in Deuteronomy it says you cannot have blessings and cursings come out of the same mouth. Just like you cannot have sweet water coming out of a sour well. So if you want your life to go well, you must not just do well, but you must speak well.
Mm.
Because out of your mouth comes the life and death. That is just how powerful the tongue is. And even though the Bible says it cannot be tamed, just like the only person that can tame the tongue is God Himself. So if you want your life to go well, you have to ask God to tell you how to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a short summary.
Okay, Nicholas, thank you so much. Yes, I agree. I agree. Is there anyone else that would like to touch on this before we move on? Nope. Okay. Well, I believe Nicholas said everything. I don't even need to add anything. So let's move on, you guys, to the next unspoken opinions, which deals with every season has a purpose, even the difficult ones. Every season has a purpose, even the difficult ones. Yes, 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 yes. Um, sometimes when we go through hard seasons or when we go through seasons where there's a lot of chaos or confusion or where we're experiencing loss or experiencing pain, in the seasons, we can think that what's the purpose of this? What's the point of this? This doesn't make any sense. Why am I going through this? Why am I dealing with this? These are the questions that may cross our minds. And God has a reason for everything. If it is we look at Job, Job went through the most. Job, he lost his family, he lost his wealth, he lost his health, and he was a very rich man. So to lose all of that all at once, I mean, he lost his children; they were all killed. So he went, he was going through, and his friends came on. Instead of encouraging him, they were accusing him of being wrong. When in reality, he did nothing wrong. What God was doing was teaching us that yes, He's the one that gives, but He's also the one that takes away. And God was also revealing to us and showing us that He had a purpose, and a purpose at that time Job didn't know that we in this century we would be reading his story and using it to either minister or to learn from. So it's all sometimes when you go through something, it's not for you, it's for someone else. And I think the Bible teaches us that when we look at all the different scenarios and stories and history and backgrounds, we all can learn from each person in the Bible. You understand? So sometimes when you're going through something difficult, it's not necessarily for you. It could be for someone else, or it could just be that God is teaching you a lesson so that you could learn and mature and grow and be the best version of you. Does anyone else, want to touch on it?
Sometimes difficult season could lead you to your blessing. For example, Joseph, he was in a prison, and who would have thought that being in a prison would have caused him to be a ruler of the entire nation. So sometimes it's preparation for success.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, I love that. I love that. Preparation for success. So when some people, if any of y'all come to me and say, can you help me with this? I was like, hello, it's preparation for success. Oh, that's a little joke I'm giving you guys.
That is one way to
Anyways,
put it. That's one way to put it. This is why you this is why we have to be careful
mm,
of what we say in certain seasons, especially those difficult seasons,
mhm,
because this is why I believe one of the reasons why God allowed the Bible to be written is to remind us that people read your life.
mhm,
So literally, how if people watch you more in those difficult seasons, what I've observed is you got more people watching you in difficult seasons than you have in good seasons because everyone knows what to do in a good season. Everyone knows what to do when life goes their way. But when life doesn't go your way, this is where people really start watching, especially when you call yourself a child of God, because they want to see if this person is a child of God, who are they putting their faith in? Are they really putting their faith in God? Because anybody can say it. Difficult seasons prove that what you said is really your life.
mm,
So I can say anything. So I literally can say anything in a good season and in a bad season. But when you get in the season, it really proves what you're saying.
mhm. All right, Nicholas, thank you so much for that. So let's move on to the next unspoken opinion um, so that we can keep this rolling. The right relationships can accelerate your growth while the wrong ones can delay it. So the right relationships can accelerate your growth while the wrong ones can delay it.
I agree.
Doing some
Um,
pause.
the reason why I agree, because usually it don't only have to be like relationships, it could just be people in general. Sometimes you'll be looking at your life and wonder what is going on, what is taking place, why are certain things occurring. And then when you step away from that individual, you start to recognize that your life is moving forward, it's pushing forward. Um, because usually what happens, like people tend to be there. Okay, so let me look at it in any state of money. For example, so let's say if you have a friend and that friend always needs some form of assistance and you are always there and you're assisting that person and it's like you're constantly being there, you're constantly assisting, you're constantly helping. The time that you could have taken to help, I'm not saying that helping is bad, but like what is that person doing to be ending up in such messed up situations? So if you kind of change your viewpoint and say to yourself, but well, why this person making more money than me, but yet still they in debt. What I'm doing with their money, you know? And you walk away from that person and you start using your own funds to better your own self. Um, your life would be better. You'll be accelerating. So like that is just one example. But like in relationships specifically, like in love, sometimes you can interact with someone and they're so toxic. They're just so toxic. And it's just more like, why am I even here? Like I'm being talked down to, I'm being treated like a doormat. I'm not seeing myself like how I used to see myself from the past. So before I had a self-esteem, now I don't, because it's just more like now I'm self-conscious. Now I'm trying to figure out, am I beautiful? Am I not even beautiful? Because when you love someone, what that person says to you, you tend to take it on even more. So if that person is calling you mean names, you would then believe what they are saying because your heart is towards that person. And once you step away from that toxic treatment, then you will be able to see yourself in a light that God sees you. And then you would start to operate the way that you want to operate, or you will no longer have that heavy cloud over you, because now you're seeing yourself the way that you needed to see yourself in the first place. So, yeah, that's just my point of view.